Thorn. If you're seeing us, you should be seeing us live. If we're all working here correctly. I'm here with a guest today. I have here Jim Semonik. He's with Distortion Productions, and today is a very special day for him. He's just about, he just released, is going to be releasing Volume 7 of Electronic Saviors. When does that come out?
Actually, it is out.
It's out?
It came out in May, and this is the listening party.
This is the listening party.
Here at Grim Wizard Coffee to preclude the show happening down at SideQuest on July 23rd. It's to kick off the Saviors Tour for the summer. We're doing a few Midwest dates, followed, here in Pittsburgh, followed by Detroit and Chicago and Madison, Wisconsin. So, that sort of kicks it all off. But here is sort of the chill, precursor. In about an hour, we're just gonna hang out here, play some pinball, drink some coffee, and listen to some Electronic Saviors 7.
Yeah, sounds good. All right, so for those of us who may not know, give us a little history lesson. What got you started on Electronic Saviors? What was the
impetus for it? It really is getting sick. I was diagnosed in 2008 with stage 3 by today's standards, but then it was considered 2B, colorectal cancer, and did a 5-week regimen of really harsh radiation and chemotherapy. Had surgery. They removed my gallbladder, about 18 inches of my large intestine. I had 2 tumors that basically had to be dealt with. And after all of that was settled, it was basically during that time when I was going through everything where I came up, with the idea hey, I should really, as a promoter, a DJ, and a guy in a band. This is before the label even existed. So,
wow.
Because the label grew out of Electronic Saviors itself much later on. So it wasn't until that summer, I was going through everything, and I was driving to work, and I'm like, I could potentially do something really cool.
Right.
And help a bunch of people out and sort of raise awareness, because going through all that stuff, it made no sense to me to, if I couldn't find a way to try and prevent other people from having to go through it and at least educate them.
Right.
And raise some sort of awareness of it. Because after the surgery, they wanted me to do post-op chemo, 24 weeks, which is 8 what they call cycles. The dosage doubled. I didn't have to do radiation for that second wave, but the intensity on the pills and injections were so intense that it almost killed me. So I ended up with pancreatitis over it. It wasn't after I recovered from all that, my body sort of acclimated to its new state. I started working on it. The first, what I thought would just be a single disc comp.
Right.
It turned into a double, which turned into a triple, and finally I settled on 4 with a download card with some extra tracks on. It was the baby version of what is now the premium edition. So it was the summer of 2009 when I got the call it was the summer 2000. It was 2009. I got the call from Dave Heckman at Metropolis Records, and he agreed to release the compilation through the label. And the first volume came out in 2010, February. We went out, we did a ton of release party shows. We did DC, Philadelphia, Chicago, maybe Cleveland, Pittsburgh, but all the way on the West Coast, which I didn't actually make it out to, but there was one in San Francisco, LA, over in Europe they had a few. But it was a massive success, and the first volume generated about $23,000 for cancer research. Like, we donated at the time to a small charity in Harrisburg called the Foundation for Cancer Research and Wellness, and we, because of the success of it, it did sell out. The next volume, which we got the go-ahead to do a sequel, came out in 2012, and then we just did a new one every 2 years, all the way up until 2020, and so we amassed a 6-volume collection, had a couple spin-offs. Now, what Electronic Saviors is a collection of exclusive tracks from bands from all over the world of the industrial music scene. They contribute. I compile them with my partner Chase, and we just see what we can do. And I'm happy to say that as of today, we've raised and donated $117K total, with probably like 8 different charities, I think, including the Bone Marrow Foundation, Cap for Kids in Colorado. We're currently working with Young Adult Survivors United in Wexford, PA. Gilda's Club of Western PA, and who later became Our Clubhouse. So yeah, I mean, it's sort of snowballed. Now we try to be at every major festival with a table, vending, to just sort of, connect with people and see what we can do. And Distortion Productions is a label grew out of the second Saviors Con. So,
all right, nice.
Hope that answered your question.
Yes, that answers. I think that gets everybody an answer to that question if they were ever wondering. And also, so if I'm hearing correctly, so all the proceeds that you get from this go to different charities.
Yes. Well, currently we're only working with Young Adult Survivors United, but we also will be giving some to the University of Pitt, to their colorectal cancer research department, which is headed by my surgeon, Dr. David Medich, who is just an incredible man. I've spoken very highly of him in other interviews, and I could go on about, what that guy means to me for ever. So, he leads the research team there, so we make sure we donate to him too.
Right. So when it comes to when you go through the process of setting up Electronic Saviors, and you get you reach out to different artists and different tracks, and you get different tracks. Is there something specific in that, where you feel okay, this track's gonna fit, this track's not gonna fit?
Not really. It's the process is kind of unique in the fact that I don't like to leave anybody out.
Right.
If someone worked on a song specifically for me, I want to make sure it's recognized in some capacity. Whether it's because what did we do? We did 4 discs on the main edition this time, 2-disc premium, and we also had a bonus Bandcamp, 16 or 17 more tracks on Bandcamp exclusive to that platform. It doesn't matter really if you're signed, unsigned. If the quality of your track really speaks to what we're doing, then we want to make sure everybody's included. But there are exceptions to that where we just don't feel like it's, if you maybe wrote a track that wasn't appropriate, or you have some questionable things going on, we might not be the best place for you. And I always tell people, look, if you want to write a song for this, take it seriously. Don't just give us a song that didn't make it onto your record, or some remix that doesn't that didn't get released somewhere along the line, or that's kind of the point of why I took the 5-year hiatus to begin with.
Right.
The pandemic had a lot to do with that too. But at the end of Volume 6, the pandemic happened. We didn't get to go out and play a single show to promote it. Didn't do a single release party, and it got to the point where I was just very fed up with the whole thing. And it took 5 years to sort of recover from that. So, but yeah, I would say that if you're just looking for exposure as an artist, that's the wrong reason. You don't want to do it just because I want people that are believing in what I'm doing. Yes. I don't. It doesn't come from a shallow place.
Right. Yes. So, yes. Okay. Yeah. So, like, how's it feel? Like, you're here at Volume 7. Like, how's it feel?
It feels great. It's surreal for sure. We were at Mechanismus in Seattle. Red Locust played out there, and we had a table set up. And I just hearing people's stories about how much these things meant to them over the years, and doing the panel. We had Eric from 16 Volt on the panel, and Nina Heckman from Metropolis, Dave's daughter. It was just great to hear the input from people and how much they appreciate it, and that's really what I love to hear about.
Yes, yeah.
Like if it made a difference in their lives. Like I had people like get the Savior's Gear Cross tattooed on them.
Oh, nice.
Which is really flattering. And everyone's been really great. I can't even really. I don't take any of it for granted. For sure.
Right. Like, you know what? That's
it's been wonderful. It feels great.
Right.
I appreciate every single act that contributed to this cause, and there's hopefully more to come. So.
Yeah. But speaking of that, what's the future going to look like for Electronic Saviors? Do you think you might do more, or where's going to be the cutoff line? If you think there would be a cutoff line.
Volume 6 was the cutoff line.
Yeah, I remember you saying that, and then you're like, here you are, Volume 7.
This wouldn't exist without 2 people.
Yeah.
Well, a lot more than 2, but 2 key people. Nina Heckman and Christian Petke from Metropolis and Cop International, respectively. It was at Mechanismus in Seattle in 2023 where we did a panel.
Yeah.
The 2 of them were. I basically said there's no Volume 7 because I laid out all the reasons.
Right.
Just basically laid out the pandemic. We reached that 100K goal.
Right.
We're at 117 now, but it didn't feel right. It didn't feel. I feel like I said all I needed to say.
Yeah.
At the time, and getting the original artists, Samantha Johnson and Jeff Confer, back to do the artwork. That was going to be a challenge, and the fact that I doubted myself. And thinking that I could build a whole compilation, a whole one of these things out of entirely new tracks,
right?
Because I didn't really feel like that was a possibility, because we've gotten so many remixes in the past, and it got to the point where that's a big ask.
Yeah,
to ask artists to write a brand new track.
Right.
From my perspective, it's different for everybody. But from my perspective, if someone wanted us to write a new song for, let's say, the Ukraine, or something like that, and gave us a year to do it, I'm totally, I can totally commit to that for one song in a year. Absolutely. Yeah. It's just like when I can understand if I was only giving people like 2-3 months.
Right.
But I gave people, I always give people an entire year. We open submissions in January, we close them in January. And I feel like that's plenty of time if you really wanted to get a track done.
Yeah.
To do it. So the future, to answer your question, I did promise an 8 and a 9 in some other interviews. So I'm going to stick to that.
Yeah.
That an 8 and a 9 will happen, but the given state of the country right now, with its chaos every day, it's some new kind of bullshit every day. I'm not exactly sure. I think the smart thing would be to see where we're at in 2028. I'll have more of an idea if I take 2026 off and just focus on the label and the band, and then in 2027 open submissions for Volume 8.
Yeah.
Release Volume 8 in 2028. And then get back onto the every 2-year schedule. Then do Volume 9 in 2030. It will be the 20th anniversary of the series. So that's kind of the game plan.
Yeah.
Whether it'll, anything can change.
Yeah.
I don't want to sound like it's a sure thing. Nothing is guaranteed in life.
Yes.
So that's the outline. And I mean, I do want to get the singles soundtrack done. Like we did, Transformers, we did The Crow, we did The Lost Boys. I want to do singles next, which is the 1991, grunge rock movie.
Oh,
with, with Alice in Chains. Chris Cornell,
that would be sweet.
Smashing Pumpkins.
Yeah, I was gonna say
that's the next soundtrack.
Yeah.
Yep. Paul Westerberg's on there like twice. So we want to that's the next soundtrack.
All right,
so
nice.
I want to maybe get that rolling in 2026. But, the last spin-off we did was the Lost Boys one, B1S, which did really well. So we're completely sold out of the Draven's mixtape.
Nice.
Respect the Prime's gonna go into its 5th pressing year. It's our bestseller. So that's the one that won't stop.
So when are you gonna do anything Marvel? I'm surprised you haven't.
Not out of the question.
Yeah.
After Volume 9, maybe.
Okay.
I did have an idea for something called In the Company of Heroes.
Okay.
And
maybe do like a Marvel DC crossover.
Nothing DC. Sorry.
Okay, you're not DC.
No. It's not that I think that DC is bad. Yeah. I'm more of an Image guy.
Okay.
And an IDW guy. But Marvel.
Yeah.
If I did anything outside of a Marvel release, it would be like maybe Spawn or Invincible.
Spawn. Yeah. Oh, Invincible. That's a good one. Yes.
So that's sort of what I would lean into. I think.
Okay.
I mean, there is that possibility. So, I mean, I have ideas that could basically take me to retirement. So, there'll be a lot to do. I have no plans on giving up. So there'll be lots of cool tunes for you guys to listen to in the coming years. As long as I can stay healthy and I can stay in the same state of mind that I'm in now. The label is busy because obviously it's just me running it. So there'll be fun stuff in the future for sure.
All right. Anything else you want to mention?
Well, I'm going to pause this a second.
All right. Anyway, where were we?
We talked about the future.
We talked about the future. Okay.
We talked about the past.
We talked about the past.
We
can talk about the present. We're here at Grim Lizard. Come join us. Come listen to some tunes. Come say hi. He'll have hugs for everybody.
I have a whole label.
He'll have stuff to sell.
Vinyl, CD, posters, T-shirts. I'm out of hoodies, sorry, but it's 1 billion degrees, so you don't really need one right now. I am getting more of them made, so we will have them back for the tour.
Yes, if you want to find everything, he has a website.
DistortionProd.com.
Yes.
Prod, like cattle prod.
Distortion Productions on Bandcamp as well, right?
Yes, you can get to our Bandcamp site by just go into the site and link it from there, and We don't have electronicsaviors.com anymore because it's not really a point to it since we have distortionprod.com and everything's there. So, come on down. Come down to Grim Wizard and have a good time. There's awesome pinball machines here. Yep. There's lovely Jamie is here.
Yes, we got coffee.
And yes, we're getting
we'll have some good tunes. So it'll be a good time. So come on out. All right. Well, this has been Thorn. This has been Jim. Thank you so much for your time.
Appreciate you.
And come see us.